Great. This is a great little question here. I just think this is a real good one. I think it's got the top votes at the moment. How do you explain who God is to people who have lived most of their lives just fine without him? How do you show them their lives would be so much better with him as a part of it?
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good question. Most people in Aussie culture, because it's awesome, right? Living in Australia is amazing. You may not think it is, but when you travel the rest of the world, you get to see how incredible our standard of living is here. There's nothing really that breaks in upon us too difficultly. And so in most of our experience, tons of people in Australia will say, I'm good without God. I'm happy as I am. Why do I need him? And I think there's two things we can say to this. The first is I think a lot of people experience the brokenness of the world that we live in, and they experience the symptoms of it without ever knowing what's actually the deep root cause. So people may feel lonely, they may feel ashamed, they may feel purposeless, they may feel like all of the joys that they had in whatever they were doing at that point, it seems to get less and less over time. They're not as satisfied. The wonder, the awe of life seems to get further and further away. And what the Christian faith does is Jesus, as the good physician, the great physician, comes in and diagnoses and says, all of these symptoms that you're experiencing, there's a reason why that's happening. It's because you're made in the image of God. You are made for greatness, to know him and love him, be used by him to contribute to something good to the world. But you're also damaged by evil. There's something broken within us, and that's why there's all of the pain and suffering and struggle that you're experiencing. And so Christianity can explain what's actually wrong, the root cause, before it then offers the cure of Jesus and how he deals with the sin problem and our estrangement from God, draws us back into there. I'd say a second approach, though, is to show them what Jesus said when he said, I have come that they have life and life in abundance. This is the good promise of the gospel, not that you become a Christian and everything sucks. Like Christianity is some moral straitjacket and you can't do anything fun. What Jesus offered is when you live in line with how God made you, that you live with God and for God, seeking to love him and love your neighbor and to create beautiful things in this life, that there comes the deepest sense of purpose and meaning and satisfaction and joy that all of the external circumstances in your life can't touch. See, people may be good without God until something goes wrong, and then they've got no anchor on how to get through life. But when you're good with God and the hard times come, it doesn't mean there isn't a sting. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. But it means that in the midst of there, you're being held by God. You can trust him that even in the midst of the pain, he can bring about something good. And so I think there's both of those reasons can be really helpful to reach and speak to people about God. And the best way to do that for people that aren't exposed is just to talk to them about Jesus. Most people still find Jesus incredibly attractive. And if God was revealed in Jesus as he claimed, that I and the Father are one, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, then get them to learn about Jesus. That's the way they'll get to learn about who God is.
Oh, that's good. Well, guys, our next higher